Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to cry. You can't fool me again.
What fi gonna eat no money, what fi at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away in the your little rat you. Use the youth, the money, Mr. Musta man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but me got in a figure you. Take the spit of money, girl, and say that it's not you. One day the man above him up, him a got a bed. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly well like a patu. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of it.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The urgent the promises, none of them no deliver. Cut up the youth, them rapper, they down in our fever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like people themselves.
It burn me.
On them treat the market man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
On them treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
On them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again.
Stibby-dim day, we in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we love like we in Global. Bona fake friend and bona tape, we in Global. We not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
Good evening, and welcome to Global Television Group. Thank you for joining us. Good evening to YouTube. Good evening, TikTok. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like whatever channel you're on. You hit the like button for us, please. Also, give us a share so others can know that we're out here and we're asking the vases what happened to Mr. Bolt's money. And why is it when it comes to land and property, Darrell Vaz always getting into a pickle of it? To my community of part and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, via subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Let me see who is here on TikTok. Sunshine, good evening, and welcome. Jamaican Politics TV, good evening, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Who else is about? YouTube, good evening. Sharon Bernard, good evening. Debbie Jervis TV, Marcia Thomas. Jamrack 8766. RJ, good evening. Lassam, you know, good evening. Gloria Morris, good evening. Sunshine, good evening. Canadian Girl, Keith Matthews. Empress Deb, Ivan Bradford. We're happy and go on this evening because the item not too glorious, but we're happy and go on with them. Sheena Kelly, Bevan Brown, Bros, Norman Ferguson, Splash Digi. Good evening. First time seeing this name, isn't it? Good evening and welcome, Marcia Thomas, JP. Good evening, Clifton Actonson. Good evening, Brenda Elson, Keith Matthews, Sandra Ellis, Monica Wills, who else is here? Violet Watson, Christine Gilbert, Michael Nipper, Normally Ashburr, good evening and welcome. First time senior as well. Young DET World, Wagwan Bro, good evening. RCS Blues, good evening and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. If you are also someone who uses TikTok, Delphi Campbell, good evening. Give us some strength on TikTok on our backup page. In particular, Marie, how are you? That's the producer Wayne Global TV on TikTok. That's where we are streaming on TikTok for now because our main page on Global TV, we're suspended until the 27th. So we will bounce along with this. Sunshine, remind me in the next hour to cut the TikTok live and start it immediately again. So when you see that happen, TikTokers, it will come back on stream straight away. It's been done for technical reasons. Alton Levy, good evening. Winston Daly, good evening, and welcome. Darrell Vaz and land. Darrell Vaz and land. You've got a track record, isn't it? Dr. Brogard, good evening, sir. Good evening to Dr. Brogard. Adi Glean, I'm here to call you, sir, Prime Minister, and a trouble may I trouble you, Janet McIntosh, Chelsea Clinton. And a trouble may I trouble Dr. Brogard. But it's how the Gleaner refers to you in their cartoonist piece as Dr. Brogard. Are you shame you gonna toilet or a shame them shame are you? You don't know what me getting at? A toilet you did gone, you shame or them shame of you, Prime Minister. Something no look right, Prime Minister. Heads of government at CARICOM, Prime Minister. Heads of state photograph, Prime Minister. You shame, you gonna toilet, or them shame are you? Because I don't know Kamina Johnson Smith to be the head of state of Jamaica when Andrew Holness is present. If it is that Kamina Johnson Smith attended CARICOM, but Andrew did not. Docs, good evening. Then one could be okay with Kamina Johnson Smith representing in the head of state photograph. So I ask you again, Prime Minister, you shame, them shame are you, or you did Ghana toilet? Something not right, Dr. Brogard. Dr. Brogard, because for the best we know, Prime Minister, you are at CARICOM. The best we know is that the Prime Minister is at CARICOM. So, if Prime Minister is at CARICOM, then we ought to see Prime Minister in the official picture, isn't it? But all I can see is the Honorable Johnson Smith. If you don't believe me, you can screenshot it and pull it up for yourself. Somewhere, make a look for my phone, which part are neck there. Kamina Johnson Smith neck there somewhere along there, so. Hold on. Let me tell you now which part to look for Kamina Johnson Smith neck. Bear with. All right. You see the lady in the bright blue there, so? We stand upside of Mia Motley. The neck between the two of them are Kamina Johnson Smith neck. And if you zoom the photo all the way in, these are all heads of state, but nowhere in this heads of state photograph is Dr. Brogard. Nowhere. No man. Yes, more under the sea next to the symbol. The woman in the bright blue blouse, she's standing next to Mia Motley. And right behind both of them, that's Kamina Johnson Smith turn upside of that tall man there. We don't know who, and Gutierrez or whatever I name the side of Kamina. The side of Mia Motley. But I don't know if Dr. Brogard gonna toilet. If Dr. Brogard shame, or if them shame a Dr. Brogard, or Dr. Brogard short and little bit. So Dr. Brogard, they behind somebody, but we not see Dr. Brogard. It could be, we don't know. But me just say Dr. Brogard. It look weird still that a heads of CARICOM, heads of state photograph. And the senator, Kamina Johnson Smith, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, is representing Andrew Holness in the official photograph When the Prime Minister is at CARICOM as well, Prime Minister must go on a toilet, yeah? Prime Minister Africa on a toilet when the camera snap. The Prime Minister said, boy, if me stay, I'm going to do it by myself. Daphne Jackson, Renice Nicholson. Catherine, how are you? If me stay, I'm going to do it by myself. So just like when the UN vote on the Gaza ceasefire, and they all went under a desk, it's pretty much the same thing again with the Prime Minister, isn't it? You're that CARICOM, but you're not in a picture. You're at CARICOM. I wonder if before the picture take, him have to fly off to another engagement. It could be, that the Prime Minister have to fly off to another engagement before the CARICOM photo take. So could have Ongo did it. But Kamina Johnson Smith have to take the photograph for him. Have to be something like that. Cannot be that big heads of state. And the one total superpower, Eugene Henry. The one total superpower in the Caribbean. You that CARICOM. Heads of state. Kathy, how are you? Heads of state, you're Prime Minister. You're the superpower in the Caribbean. Counter Dr. Sophia Longmore, Evan Grant. And not just me, sister. And not just the Miami Herald fake news make it up and say Dr. Sophia Longmore in Senate the other day quotes Noreen that I, Dr. Sophia Longmore, know Jamaica to be a superpower. Gloria Morris. And you mean to say superpower end up a CARICOM and superpower Prime Minister in an official picture? It not look good, just like a lot of things we are going with your Prime Minister. Just don't look good. So that's why I ask you, if I toilet you gone, if I shame you shame, or if them shame you. But something gone wrong with you and your CARICOM. Now, if you are Mr. Bolt, Miranda Rado, you would possibly start thinking by now, is it me that my country do not like, or is it my success? Because you would have to ask yourself, if you're Usain Bolt, one of the question, is it me as a person that my country or the upper echelons of society in my country does not like, or is it my success? It would be only fair if he asks himself that question. Because Mr. Bolt told us before in an interview with Ian Boyne that he experienced racism and classism in Jamaica. And now post Ian Boyne, Mr. Bolt is being robbed. Isilda Williams. It would be only fair then for Mr. Bolt to ask the question, is it me as a person that my country does not like, or is it my success, a black youth, a poor youth from rural Jamaica, has suddenly run his way to the top and passed even those who are stealing and tiling to make their way up. Let me bring you a snippet of an interview with Ian Bowen sometime before Ian Bowen passed that some of you might have remembered. But something is awfully wrong, because it's not me that is explaining that he experienced classism and racism. He spoke it in a major interview. And look at the unfoldings of the last 2 years. Look at the treatment since he's spoken a few weeks ago, since the last 2 years of all of what has happened.
People look at things as you're coming up and you're building yourself, and other people don't want to see that. And that, it's just life.
That's the people of Jamaica.
I've learned to just understand that everybody's going to appreciate what they have done. You understand? Some people, especially when I started out, it was more shocking than anything. That's why I said you have to learn from experience. And when I started out, that's how I ended up buying my house. Because I was living in a complex, and I had issues with a few of the lighter
skin people.
You understand?
Why? Because you're a dancehall friend, they want to make up nice.
I used to live near a lawyer. And I remember when I moved in, he said to me, "Listen, be careful now." So what I mean, he said, they don't like to see young people strive, because when I came in here, I was just 23, and then they weren't happy to see me in this complex, and I couldn't believe it. And when it started happening to me a couple of times, I said, "No, I have to buy a house and move out so I can have my own place."
You see,
I had to rush
experience
that.
Some of the black skin people,
I'm not too happy they weren't see it, because a lot of them, because them go to school and work years and years to reach. I mean, just come up because I suppose we get everything and I live here, so I do this.
So bad mind, your experience bad mind in Jamaica.
Strong
bad mind.
Strong.
From people in upper class too.
From people in upper class. Most of the people in the upper class, because they get the youth to my everybody is love me and they want to see me, and them just happy to see me, understand? And them I say, "Boy, thanks to Jamaica." Boy, really. Even people see me and say, "Boy." Even though I went to Miami for a shoot, and I remember a Spanish, a Latino guy was saying to me, "Listen, I've seen a lot of celebrities come through here. You are one of them I love the most. Why? Because you have come from nothing and you have stayed humble, and I respect that about you. And for me, that make you feel good. You understand? So something I really love.
Important disclosures and profile. You're seeing as experience discrimination, classism, racism in his own country. This will continue to be talked about.
Yes. So, if Usain Bolt have that thought as to, does my country have a problem with me as a person, or is it my success that a section, not my country, a section of my country, a particular group in my country has problem with? We're building up to Darrell Vaz, you know. We are working our way up to Darrell Vaz. Because Darrell Vaz seemed to have a major problem when it comes to land.
Since news that Usain Bolt lost hundreds of millions of dollars at failed brokerage house Stocks and Securities Limited, the multiple sprint world record holder recently made public his dissatisfaction with the pace of the investigations, which has triggered a public debate.
Our concern mainly is that an effort is being made to blame Mr. Bolt personally for the loss of his funds at SSL.
Mr. Gordon was referring to comments like this from politician Venetia Phillips, who questioned on social media site X, did you get advice or directive from government directly or indirectly regarding making the investment you made and then lost? Was it all privately done? Have you sued the person who managed your affairs? These questions, if answered, will give us here perspective. Mr. Bolt on Wednesday quoted her post stating, trying to victim shame me? Don't be a syndicate.
The stress is aggravated and heightened by persons entering into the blame game and the shaming of the victim. In other words, it's your fault. You put the money in the wrong place. You should have put it elsewhere. The allegation that the funds never got there suddenly have been elevated by one of the spinners.
Mr. Gordon notes Ken Tomlinson, who was appointed by the Financial Services Commission to take temporary management of SSL, found records confirming these lodgements and has attested to them in the Supreme Court.
But anyway, anywhere, and by anyhow you look at it, it is wrong to be cultivating in the minds of persons that monies went elsewhere and therefore SSL is not responsible for some or all of his funds and that he made a bad choice in investing in SSL.
No, Mr. Gordon and his team are considering separate legal action.
In this widespread attack on Mr. Bolt, certain persons might have crossed the border into defamation. And we are scrutinizing all the allegations being made, and we will take steps to protect his character and his reputation.
In the meantime, Mr. Gordon says the team is concerned about updates from the authorities.
We have not, for example, been invited to any formal meeting with anyone from any of the departments, including the FSC, to say this is what is happening and this is where we are going. We are out in the dark and we are just hoping that the investigations, including the reports from the foreign entities or persons who came in as experts, none of those have been shared with us, although it appears that people in the media are quoting from some of those reports.
Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn told the Gleaner on Thursday her office is now ready to prosecute the case against former SSL Client Relations Manager Jean-Ann Panton, the loan company official charged in the matter where Bolt and other SSL clients' accounts were defrauded close to $5 billion Jamaican dollars. Ms. Llewellyn said Bolt's matter has been reflected as it relates to the 22-count allegations against Panton.
So all of the labor surrogates came out and they have a field day of attacking Mr. Bolt and Mr. Bolt money, one of the song and dance. They have all over the place. Mr. Bolt money been missing from 2012 and Portia Simpson was the one in power when Mr. Bolt's money went missing. We learned last night that asset of the fraud hit institution was transferred to a member of the Vases. So we're going to dive back into the information Partner Draw put out last night, and then we're going to look at Darrell Vaz's history of land debacles.
And Shannon Vaz. Shannon Vaz. What can go so?
Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you.
Hugh Mommy, stop right there. Hugh Mommy. Shannon Vaz. And just humor me. Why is the thing that your the highlight is in green? Was that the work of your producer? Because it leads me to believe Shannon Vaz related to Daryl and Anne-Marie Vaz. That's all I'm asking.
Repeat that.
Is Shannon Vaz related to Daryl and Anne-Marie Vaz? That's what I'm asking.
It is
Peculiar name, so that's why I asked.
It is said she's the daughter-in-law of the Vazes.
All out! Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Just let me get something before you do. Portland, wake up, wake up, cause this need crowd. Tell me something. There's a thing when it comes to collection after that Nigel Clark thing about not transferring assets. The purpose of that is there's a thing about redeem up, foreclose down in terms of creditors. So people who have money in what can now be said to be a Ponzi scheme. So this is like some cash pot kind of scheme where SSL is not to transfer property, you're not to sell it, gift it, remove it. So there's a tracing element, and unless there is a purchaser for value with a third party purchaser that doesn't know the innocent purchaser for value, then the tracing of the property would mean that this by way of gift would be problematic if it was transferred after SSL got itself in hot water and the whole thing. But I don't want to discuss too much, but is that what you're saying?
Repeat that. I was.
You know. Now I see why the Justice Minister was saying if your family members are do things, don't tell the Integrity Commission. I got it now. Continue, do what you're doing. This is what you call the disenfranchisement of the Jamaican people. So when I had said that there was real definition of Vazism on the seat for yourself, continue.
So how was this done? The transfer. It was done.
Keep topping the screen, TikTokers.
Company called SSL4 out of St. Lucia. I don't think Jamaica heard. Jamaica, how was this done? A holding company in St. Lucia called SSL. Get what I'm getting at tonight, you know. How is the shareholdership of the two companies, the two owners, the shareholders? 800%, 800 shares, and 800 shares. No, this is a serious matter tonight, Jamaica. Just like how it happened with the Prime Minister. You remember? At Martin St. Lucia transferring Whitecliff close to Estate Bridge. You remember
Ebert
how that
Wagon.
was facilitated? When they say I'm freezing up, even if I'm freezing up tonight, Jamaica, we're doing what we need to do. So ask yourself this. Why did the Financial Services Commission, under the leadership of Nigel Clark and the Wellness Administration,
Marceline, good night.
facilitated a transfer of SSL assets? Why did the Financial Services Commission in this country facilitated a transfer of SSL assets? Have you ever seen anything like this before, Jamaica? So therefore, they no longer own that asset. What other asset do they no longer hold, Jamaica? I'm going to ask you again. They no longer own 33 and a half, you know. So the property is owned by what? Symbol Limited. And Symbol Limited owned by who? Linda and Shannon Vance.
Jackie Walford, you can literally consult a lawyer on anything. You can literally consult a lawyer and ask them what color the sky is today. And if they have no legal or professional ethics, they'll take the advice from you, look outside and tell you what color the sky is. So Darrell Vaz can consult a dozen lawyers if he wants. He should find out which member of the Jamaica Labour Party, which former minister of government that helped to put this information in public domain. What Mr. Vaz needs to ask his attorney to do is to find out which member of the Jamaica Labour Party, which former minister of government in the Jamaica Labour Party would have made this information public. You see, I think he ought to be more concerned of that. But that's Darrell Vaz and his wife, Adam Vaz and his wife, Shannon Vaz. Tell him to contact a lawyer about that. Nigel Clark have a lot of questions to answer. All of what Nigel Clark promised in the SSL investigation, Nigel Clark failed on it. The greatest failure was released last night when, after Nigel promised us in public that SSL cannot do anything with the asset because of they're under investigation and all sort. We're learning now that Nigel Clark facilitated the transfer of SSL asset to the Vazes. To the Vazes. So if Darrell Vaz want to go contact his attorney for advice and information that's in the public, then have enough money to waste. Jason Lindo. That's the brother. Oh, Hanat, Kathy, thank you. That's the brother of, what's you might call it, in the red shirt. The brother of Shannon Vaz. So whatever criminal activity Uno Vaz them in, it's going to be unearthed. Darrell Vaz in 2020 was, I'm going to go in zigzag with the dates. In 2020 was stripped of his land portfolio, land and environment portfolio. Hold on there. Vaz has resigned days after a report revealed a controversial bid by the minister to obtain 25-year lease that would allow him to construct a private cabin on protected land within the Blue Jankra Mountain National Park area. And Darrell and Ann has done a lot of this in Portland, where a lot of the prime beach land, local government land in East Portland, Darrell Vaz and Ann Vaz buy them up since then take over up there. Ann Vaz office is built on parish council land with the view that if and when her political career over, which will be soon, September the latest, she's going to use it to run Airbnb. So you remember in 2019, the land sale debacle with Darrell Vaz. We just chat Darrell Vaz, land grab and property grab. Show you say, the SSL transfer, what we just realize, Colleen, how you do? What we just realize, the SSL asset transfer to the Vazes. We'll show you the track record. Vaz always are getting a conundrum when it comes to property. The parliamentary opposition wants minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, Darrell Vaz, to send on leave until completion of an independent audit of a controversial sale of the beachfront property in Oterio, St. Anne's. Opposition Dr. Phillips call for, who made the call demand to that auditors should be chosen by a panel comprising the corruption watchdog group, National Integrity Action, and representative and international financial partners. Hold on. Hold on, Minister. Vaz have been under probe since the Integrity Commission delivered a report last week about the sale of rooms on beach by state-owned Montego Bay Beach Limited to Puerto Ricans. To Puerto Caribe Properties Limited. The sale was investigated by my eye really give me a problem tonight. The sale was investigated by former Contractor General's office, which was subsumed by the Integrity Commission. The report revealed that the property was valued by three recognized valuer at US 11.8 million and to US 13.5 million. However, all the properties were sold to the operator of Moon Palace Resort, located on the adjacent land, for 7.2 million, way below the estimate. Way below even the lower estimate. That is 6 million below the lowest value. Wow. And US 6.3 million between the highest value. Phillips noted that the Urban Development Corporation indicated at the time that there was strong interest from the private sector in acquisition of the subject property for development. So, I hope when I get the gist of that one, we'll move on to another one of them, because a whole heap of Vaz is not even fit to be in. When can hit the like button, YouTube? Vaz is not even fit to be in Parliament as a MP, never mind as a government minister. Office of the Contractor General report, Vaz interfered with sale of the OT beachfront land. This is related to the same room them down at Ochi when sell off cheap. You wonder how much money did Vaz take as kickback or undercut after him give it away 6 million US lower. 6 million US lower than valuation. Hold on, my peeps. One of them thought me I have something about him. Because this was the consequences of some of these articles now give me access. This was the consequences of his visa removal after these debacle when go Mexico go pick up money. Government sale room on the beach well below property value. Hold on there. I'm looking for the one. I should have one article here with the one about visa. It looks like me never stored this one, but you're all aware of vast criminality with this room on the beach where him go Mexico go pick up money, and some of it touched through the US wire transfer. And because of that, his diplomatic visa was being removed. So realizing now that property from SSL has been transferred to the Vases, Nigel Clark, the government, Vaz, and the whole of them have questions to answer. That Juliet Holness is a director of Shark Security Company. The whole of them always, that's why the whole of them are director for one another something. It's a gangster regime. These people in government who we actually think are leaders, who we dubbed as honorable, are literal gangsters. They are all literally gangsters. Look at the scheme, the SSL scheme, and how it is all unfolding. Look how politicians are trying to protect their chuck. When Nigel had that interview, his last interview with Dean Jackson Miller, before he departed to the IMF to continue to oppress the poor, he spoke about his disappointment of the pace of the investigation, causing Paula to tell Diane it's not about just waving a magic wand. And it happens. But as soon as Mr. Bull spoke, and there's a media furore, the magic wand have been waged by Paula Llewellyn. The magic wand has been waged by Paula Llewellyn, and Paula Llewellyn is ready to take Jean and Panton to trial. What I don't think is possible, it should happen. And I think the nation should push back against it. The reason why Mr. Bolt cannot do certain things at the moment, because it will jeopardize. He cannot do or say much at the moment because of pending criminal prosecution. There's not much that Mr. Bolt can say. But it shouldn't be right or acceptable that only one person in such a major fraud, in such a national fraud involving a major financial institution regulated by the government, we should not, for any reason, accept them going ahead with the trial of just one dege person. We should not accept it, because we're accepting from them that one dege person can pull down a whole financial system and nobody else is responsible. Going ahead with a case against Jean and Panton only is trying to sweep things under the carpet. Paula Llewellyn shouldn't be allowed to rush this prosecution for the few months that she has left in office. She shouldn't be allowed to rush this prosecution in order to pull a wool over the public eye and to protect her favorite sets of politician. I think that is one of the things that the nation should push back on in their assistance to Mr. Bolt in getting justice. Parliament must make a ruling and tell us if anyone else will be charged or be prosecuted in this SSL matter. Taking forward a prosecution against Gina and Panton alone is corruption in open, right in front of everybody. Shameless corruption. Because it's just not possible. The corruption is glaring from day one anyway. To see that such an institution being defrauded to the point of collapse and only one person. This is not like the fraud that goes on over Leachin Bank, where a woman would empty the entire chist in her handbag and walk out of Leachin Bank and head straight to the airport. It's not like that. This is a heist over a 10-year period. The best of auditor internally, the best of external auditor couldn't have spot that there's one crooked woman in the institution, Stocks and Security Limited. Not one of them was as bright as Gina and Panton. Because if anybody at SSL or any of the external auditors, the government regulator that audit SSL, even though it's fair to say at some point, Financial Services Commission under McFarlane found out that there's a bit of oopsie-daisy going on over here. But prior to that, Kenneth Bailey, prior to that, not even the brightest of the brightest at SSL realized that something no look right, yaso. Something na guan good, yaso. It's like a Gina and Panton alone sign off on everything at SSL. Because if I know Gina and Panton alone sign off on everything, then somebody else is overseeing Gina and Panton work. And I know institutions like that have two top dogs, which is the chief executive officer and the chief financial officer. Those two top dogs in such an institution comes way above Gina and Panton. If Gina and Panton is not answerable to anyone else in the SSL institution, yes, Sunshine, thank you. Me soon restart. I want to do it after midnight UK time. It's creeping up to midnight. If Gina and Panton is not answerable to anybody else at SSL, Gina and Panton certainly is answerable to the chief financial officer and the executive officer, the chief executive officer. Oops. The chief financial officer laptop got a bit of upsy-daisy. Under the auspice or governance of the government, when they took SSL into receivership, SSL got hit. If SSL wasn't Rob, you see, I'm sure there's big enough rats in Jamaica to pick up a laptop and walk with it. Because if they can take up a bunch of receipts all across local government and move along with them, what would stop rats? What on earth do you think would stop rats from really taking up a whole bunch or a big old laptop and move on with it? But we're going to take a short break. I'll play you. For those of you, make we play back what partner Jar broke last night on this story while we restart our TikTok live. Sorry, it's very low. It's not your fault. It come out like that. TikTok, come straight back. I'm just going to restart the live. Come straight back, TikTok.
And just humor me. Why is the thing that the highlight is in green? Was that the work of your producer? Because it leads me to believe Shannon Vaz related to Daryl and Anne-Marie Vaz. That's all I'm asking.
Repeat that.
Is Shannon Vaz related to Daryl and Anne-Marie Vaz? That's what I'm asking.
It is
a peculiar name, so that's why I asked.
It is said she's the daughter-in-law of the Vazes.
Fall out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me have a Portland. Why me travel to Portland? Take out somebody. Man or woman.
Just let me get something.
I go and play this game. TikTok people them come back.
Portland, wake up, wake up, cause this need crowd. Tell me something. There's a thing when it comes to collection after that Nigel Clark thing about not transferring assets.
Welcome back, Kathy.
The purpose of that is there's a thing about redeem up, foreclose down in terms of creditors. So people who have money in what can now be said to be a Ponzi scheme. So this
Welcome,
is
Ladybug.
some cash pot kind of scheme where SSL is not to transfer property, you're not to sell it, gift it, remove it. So there's a tracing element, and unless there is a purchaser for value with a third party purchaser that doesn't know the innocent purchaser for value, then the tracing of the property would mean that this by way of gift would be problematic.
Welcome back, Khalid.
Transferred after SSL got itself in hot water and the whole thing. But I don't want to discuss too much. But is that what you're saying?
Repeat that. I was.
You know. Now I see why the Justice Minister was saying if your family members are do things, don't tell the Integrity Commission. I got it now. Continue, do what you're doing. This is what you call the disenfranchisement of the Jamaican people. So when I had said that there was really a definition of Varsism on the seat for itself. Continue.
So, how was this done? The transfer. It was done via a holding company called SSL4 out of St. Lucia. I don't think Jamaica heard. Jamaica, how was this done? A holding company in St. Lucia called SSL. Get what I'm getting at tonight, you know. How is the shareholdership of the two companies, the two owners, the shareholders? 800%, 800 shares, and 800 shares. No, this is a serious matter tonight, Jamaica.
Welcome back, Sunshine.
Just like how it happened with the Prime Minister. You remember? At Martin St. Lucia transferring Whitecliff Close to Estate Bridge. You remember how that was facilitated? When I say I'm freezing up, even if I'm freezing up tonight, Jamaica, we're doing what we need to do. So ask yourself this. Why did the Financial Services Commission, under the leadership of Nigel Clark and the Wellness Administration, facilitated a transfer of SSL assets? Why did the Financial Services Commission in this country facilitated a transfer of SSL assets? Have you ever seen anything like this before, Jamaica? So therefore, they no longer own that asset. What other asset do they no longer hold, Jamaica? I'm going to ask you again. They no longer own 33.5, you know. So the property is owned by what? Symbol Limited. And Symbol Limited, owned by who? Linda.
Jason and Shannon. I don't hear anybody from the Jamaica Labour Party, vloggers, social media warriors, or anyone coming out to make much a point. They're more barking the old dog tune of defamation. Senator Lickspittle Morgan, I was hoping that the senator would have come out and make some threats. I would have hoped the vlogger Lickspittle from across the road would have put out a narrative. But onto the vlogger across the road, I must ask. It is rather interested that a story I expect you to jump on, you're rather silence, Mr. So-and-so. You know, we were told by Fable at the podium. When was it? Was it yesterday or so on? But we were told by favor 139 billion owed to us in taxes. 139 billion. Hey, Cliff Hughes. I wonder, Cliff Hughes, if there's a reason why you're not carrying this story. 139 billion in taxes, Cliff Hughes, owed to us. What we know, Cliff Hughes, from the document on screen, you owe us quite a chunk, beat and teach. Wagwan. We know, Cliff Hughes. Why you not carry that story? Don't you think it's a story that your listeners would want to hear you cover? Given that you have vlogged before social media, internet, and smartphone and all that? I wonder why the vlogger across the street is not having the conversation about the amount of taxes that the Lowe's Limp Hazard Tax Administration of Jamaica, who only collect tax from poor people, have allowed people like you to get away with. Tax Administration of Jamaica seem to only have a pick for poor people. Because the poor people alone, Tax Administration of Jamaica can hold down and collect tax from. Because a long time Cliff Hughes who with tax. See favor come out a call for with tax with you. TAJ tell us saying collect how much a billion with you. 139 billion Cliff Hughes is still outstanding. How much, Cliff, of our taxes from the 139 billion that you need to fork out, give away, Cliff? You mean to all the time you've been scrubbing for the government? You've been licking spit for the government, Mr. Hughes. You mean you can't pay with tax money? I'll know. The Prime Minister, before he goes in September of this year, ought to create an award. I thought they big me up on him program. The government should create an award called the Lick Spittle Award. The government ought to create an award before he departs office called the Lick Spittle Award, because there's a lot of lick spittle about the place. Tons and tons of them. Minister Green Shot, Dana Morris Dixon, Nestor Morgan. They're just going around scrubbing for the Prime Minister. It's like a team of national scrubbers. Why Cliff Hughes not talk about the tax? Why is Cliff Hughes not talking about the tax? And while you're speaking of ISA, don't forget that it's not too late to buy any of his tickets, rather be the online if you're in the diaspora. Hold on, let me find the flyer. Miss Puss, Miss Side Chick. Who else? If you're, let me find the flyer. If you're in the diaspora, if you're at home, you can still buy a ticket to attend in person on Saturday. Hold on. Yes. Take a screenshot. This is for the tickets in person. You can scan the QR code. You can also take a screenshot. All the information is on screen how to purchase for the dinner, or you can also buy the online package. You can also buy the online package as well. Please take a screenshot as well. All the information is there. The package costs $49.99 or so. $49.99 US dollars. And that will allow like how you used to buy those things and watch them online during COVID when them have plays and them think there's something like so. But go to Coda TV. Let me pull it up on my phone. No, let me extend my computer screen 1 second there. So go to Coda, the codanetwork.com or the codatv.com, where you can do your purchase and it will allow you to watch the event live. So if you support education for our children and the children of Portland, then support the program. It's 8,000 JMD, $49.99 USD. Support, because this is an initiative for children. It's an initiative for the education of our children. So make sure. Raymond G. Wagwan, or you purchase your stream already. Thanks for that. Make sure you all support the fundraiser. Whether you can make it in person or you can purchase the PPV package on Coda TV. So you can take a screenshot. All the information are on both of the flyers. Beat and Teach purchased hers as well. Hold on, the condolences to you and your family, Sharon Bernard. Hold on. Something happened 1 second there. I've missed so much comment when I'm off. My brother just... Oh, sorry about that, Sharon. Sorry. Really sorry about that. Let us all send out our love and prayers for Sharon Bernard as she has just lost her brother. Wow. We are very sorry. We are very sorry to hear that. Let us all send out our love and prayers, globalists. Very sad indeed. But yes, my people, make sure we support the initiative to educate our children, because It's a way out of poverty, and it's a way to change a violent mindset that has taken over our society. So we should always make sure when it comes to initiative to do with education, we always support, because it is what we hope that will change the mindset and broaden the prospects of our younger generation. So please support the initiative. Adventures Empress has also purchased already. Wow. Very sad indeed. But Mr. Bolt has gone through an awful lot of disappointment in his country. Because one thing, even or young men who get drawn into crime and gangs, ghetto youth often aspire to get something and reach somewhere in life. Bolt was blessed with talent, and not just talent, but determination. Because it's one thing to have talent, it's also another thing to have ambition and determination. Because you can have the talent and your talent dies for lack of ambition and lack of determination. And his country, sorry, his country has not treated him favorably. When you listen to the interview he had with Ian Bowen years ago, when he just found success rightfully, it may be in a short time, but work for it he certainly did. And in working for it and achieving it, he did make a country popular and proud. I don't think he can argue that his country has done him proud, because he told us of his experience with racism and classism. And we are seeing what is unfolding in the last 2 years when it comes to the asset of Mr. Bolt. His experience with his country is not really a good one. The BBC have everything at Jamaica in a Jamrock. If you want to know, listen to the interview that Stephen Shigara, whatever he's called, did with Edmund Bartlett last November. he was very, very clued up on the issues to do with Jamaica. Shelly Coran, how you doing, auntie? Long time no see. The BBC is very clued up with what's going on. When Bolt is ready to speak, you will see all of the international people trying to get his attention. But the BBC World Service has never left its colonies. The BBC World Service has never left its colonies. Them know everything we're going, but they are all waiting until Mr. Bolt is ready to speak, because that will be the big story. That is when they will all, you will see all of them start run with it like mad bread, and everybody will want to have a sit down with Mr. Bolt at the time. Every big vlogger will want to have a sit down with Mr. Bolt at the time. That is what Mr. Bolt has tried to protect Jamaica so-called reputation from. Not sure what that is, to be honest with you. When it comes to protecting the country's reputation, I am sort of bemused as what that might be. Because not the country where Andrew Holness run, maybe one other one, you know, could be another country we're not aware of. But not the one that Andrew Holness run. And then, overnight, we're being made aware that asset from SSL been transferred to Darrell Vaz's daughter-in-law. Some members of the Jamaica Labour Party who was attacking Bolt all of the other day. Who name Maphead? All right, let me show. Since as you don't know Maphead, Auntie Shelley, me, I go show you who Maphead is tonight. We're going to show you who Maphead is tonight, because a Maphead turned the latest lick spittle, you know, because she always set her face and her head one way in a public when she tell with the things them what she believe, because she kind of want force we. She kind of want force we to believe anything where Andrew send her out, if you tell we if you believe, she literally all we and force we so if you believe it. She don't give we a choice, you know, as to whether we can listen, we can accept or swallow the horse manure or whatever. She literally all way and shove the ass manure down with throat, whether we want it or not. Because every time she touch the podium, she tell you how good and how brilliant and how well and how hard the person they work. Me don't know if a flight green teach her if you tell the lie them, but she tells some lie where kind of mirror for flight green, because everybody is hard working for she, and this is one of flight green funeral speech. Everybody hard working and loving. So it could possible that or something like go. But then Dr. Dry Bones, she is the nether one. Because remember saying before Nigel Clark left, Nigel Clark went to court, tried to hide the SSL aspect of the SSL report. So Darrell, daughter-in-law, father really owned the building for years. But I mean, Darrell Vaz, when it come to building and property, Darrell Vaz always a rake and creep. So Darrell Vaz need to tell we how that transfer ya to him daughter-in-law, how it go. Because we want to know, and if the vlogger from over the radio station cross the road, if the vlogger there cross the road at the radio station know anything, then that vlogger can so inform us. But for Dr. Dry Bones told us a few days ago that there ought to be legal caution before any publication of the SSL report. It begs to ask the question, with the revelation of what we found out last night, what was published over Partner Jar, it begs to ask the question, what is Faval hiding? What is the government hiding? Who are they protecting? Why them get a foreign? Because let me tell you, JLP, why contradict everything do. Remember, the audit report that the Integrity Commission, the foreign auditor them that the Integrity Commission get to come to the audit pan Andrew Sinting, where them never release, what if FID doing an investigation, that report would be important to FID, so there before they wouldn't put it in public domain. No. But you all are calling for the release of that report, that audit report by the Integrity Commission. On the other hand, you are the same people that is fighting to block an audit report in the SSL investigation. It's the same thing with Dr. Nigel Clark, who messed up badly in the SSL scandal. Criminal behavior from Dr. Clark. Literally criminal behavior, because the transfer of SSL wealth to Darrell Vaz's daughter is criminal, because SSL was already under investigation. And you told us then that you will not facilitate any transfer of SSL assets. But here comes, we just find out something otherwise. A whole host of people ought to be arrested. And we should not accept Paula Llewellyn rushed in and a trial, a prosecution through the court to protect her nearest and dearest people in government. One woman cannot be responsible for 10 years worth of fraud that took down a financial institution. It is just not possible. On no other planet it is possible or acceptable. So we shouldn't accept it from government that it is true that one woman could have done all of this. One woman could have carried out this major heist that collapsed an institution. An institution where at the same time Nigel Clark was facilitating the transfer of wealth that should have been sequestrated, or the smaller word, seized. Nigel Clark was allowing the transfer of those. While Nigel Clark came to us, the public, and said that I need 15 million or more from you per month to keep this fraud hit collapse company afloat. And also remember this story go. Or a dream me dream both and things. I don't remember say a dream me dream. I never saw this. I never saw this story go or a dream me dream. We should not accept a rushed trial from Paula Llewellyn. Paula Llewellyn just the other day tell Dean Jackson Miller that it could take years. Oh, all of a sudden, one of the one silent Bolt, one of the one blame Bolt, one of the one messed up the case and have it thrown out of court, or one of one use Gene and Panton as a lamb to the slaughter to silence the rest of us. So what about the evidence that will come out in Gene and Panton trial? What about Gene and Panton confession? Because you can't, this is one of the things where me not understand. She handed another one of the other accomplices, you know. Why is that being overlooked by the investigators or by Paula Llewellyn, who decided that there's no evidence or not enough evidence to take any prosecution against Hugh Croskery? Is Mark Croskery and Hugh Croskery even on the island? That is another question to ask. Is Mark Croskery and Hugh Croskery still in Jamaica? Because we don't know. Them make them heist and them gone. Lee Chin and the Wholeness and the whole of them have questions to answer. Because money from over Lee Chin, them that Canada. Money from over Lee Chin, money from over SSL, drop off over Lee Chin, and we don't know where drop off over there for. The Prime Minister have people just walk up a cash machine and put money, large money into him account, untraceable. Come on, Jamaica, this is not no makeup galangin. There's a lot of money mess around this government, which it isn't becoming untenable. It has become untenable, particularly for the last 2 years, since the 2022 Integrity Commission report came out, subject to the Prime Minister's time at the Ministry of Education. It's alleged that he's gone to Canada. The Jamaica system, because FID, even though not FID alone, should investigate the crime there. MOCA should be involved in the investigation at SSL as well. These people, these top brass at SSL should have been arrested. There should be a sequestration order on all of their assets. This is how it would happen in other countries, that law enforcement work independent of their political masters who they take order from. That's why in England and America, politicians can be arrested and placed before the court. You can literally go raid their houses. You can literally go and raid their houses. Jamaican politicians commit the crime in broad daylight with tant amount of evidence left behind, and nothing happened. It cannot be Jamaica. It cannot be that one dege woman take down a whole financial institution. Not no go so. It's a pie in the sky story. And it's on that basis that Paula Llewellyn wants to take a prosecution against Gina and Panton alone, which is unacceptable. Because what Paula Llewellyn will be doing with that case is taint justice. Because if you take Gina and Panton alone on trial, there are evidence that information that will come out in the Gina and Panton trial, which will be in public domain, which will prejudice any trial that comes after that would cause such trial to collapse. So that's why I say, Paula, do this thing, to mess up the thing, so the big top brasses who are involved in this fraud don't face justice. And the defense must find some reason in the light of whatever development to say they are not ready to go to trial, but Gina and Panton defense should come up with some reason as to their ill-preparedness for trial. Because if Gina and Panton lawyer is not ready, we have to stagger out this thing until September, where Paula Llewellyn cannot mess this trial up in order to protect her political masters. If Paula Llewellyn gets the chance to go ahead by prosecuting Gina and Panton only, everything else behind that is going to mess up, because anybody else is to be prosecuted after that is going to claim that the evidence is being prejudiced, and they won't be getting a fair trial, and it violate their right to a fair trial, and books the bar and blah 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 and all that their lawyer will quote to get a case thrown out of court. So I think that ought to be one of the greater pushback right now, is not allowing Paula Llewellyn to take a prosecution forward in a bid to mash up the thing and protect our chosen criminals. Haven't we been out here long enough tonight? 1 hour and 40 so minutes. Let me look at how much I hit the like button, because I say at 304, I'll say 400 on upon producer Wayne. Make me look how much I one not do too bad compared to other night, but on still could have do all it better. Because I could have taken the like to all 300 and all that jazz. Yeah. And I could have taken the life to 300 and so on and so forth. I'm sure say it wouldn't pay on the hand. I'm sure it wouldn't pay on the hand. If it take the likes to 400 to 300. But thank you all, everyone. And make sure if you're not following my backup page on TikTok, which is the Producer Wayne Global TV channel on TikTok, please do give us a follow. In the next few days, we'll have more live access on that TikTok page as we continue to grow our audience on TikTok, because TikTok is the new TV in a lot of sense, because unlike some social media where different age group goes to different platform, like you'll have some people are Instagram people, some are Facebook people, some are YouTube people. TikTok is a everybody platform, and that's what make the audience in over TikTok. You connect with people of all class, age group, and whatsoever you want to call it. But thank you all very much for being here tonight. Lovely to have your support as well. If you're new to Global TV, make sure you subscribe and follow whichever platform you're watching from. Thank you all very much for your support. Join us right back here tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. Thank you very much for watching. Good night from the Global Television Group.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.